let's gather around. It's time to talk. Oh, yeah. All of those talk and share every moment, everything here. Questions unanswered, truth untold. Yeah. All of those talk and share every moment.
Hello. Let's just not mind him. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Priscilla Tando, and I'm sitting here with my husband.
Shadrach Tando, the one and only.
Okay.
Good.
The one and only, not that there is many. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us again. If you already don't follow us, go ahead and follow, subscribe, like, and follow us on all social media platforms. Last episode, if you have not watched it, we're gonna put the link below so you can go and catch up with us. And then
There's a lot to talk about
yeah.
and to learn from the first episode. So make sure you click on the link below and go and watch it.
Yes. And we talked about life's purpose and here on earth and the things that go on and on.
And many more.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about our ancestors and, what comes to mind when we think of our ancestors and why do some people think ancestors are evil and pass down generational curses, especially for Africans.
We believe in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And what were some of their beliefs before the Christianity was brought to them and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So without going further, I will be asking the question. My husband will give his 2 cents, and then I'll give my 2 cents. And you guys can clearly get to us and back and forth so that we can help each other grow and really answer our questions. So what comes to your mind when you think of our ancestors, babe?
Evil. Baloji.
Yeah, Baloji just means witches. It just means witches in my mother tongue. No, dead ass.
That's how we think about.
Yeah.
That's how we think about. We see evil. We see these people that they didn't live life like we did. They were just into these evil practices and all that.
Mm.
And the subject actually does bother me the most. Why? Because in about 100 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be considered as an ancestor.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think you're doing evil practices right now.
Right.
But if we are to teach the generations to come that the ones that came before us were evil, I don't know.
Good thing.
I don't know. So when we think about ancestors, all we think about is evil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we want to think that way. It's because we came into this life finding things in place that just suggest that they were evil.
Right.
We are the ones that are trying to build a better future.
Right.
Trying to raise whatever that they
Right. Which I don't necessarily think now.
Yeah.
Now I don't necessarily think that they were evil because I'm looking at myself as you said, 100 years from now, I will be an ancestor.
Exactly.
Right? And as of this moment, I am doing the best that I can to feed my family, to be a good wife, to be a good friend, a good sister. I am the firstborn of 8 kids. Well, I'm the 9th, but 8 kids that are behind me. So of course I'm this alpha female that's trying to go get it.
Hey. So you also consider yourself as alpha female? That's crazy.
I'm definitely not a omega. I'm definitely alpha.
What makes you an alpha?
I'm a go-getter. I'm very determined. I'm very independent.
Okay.
Being married and all, and I know being married and all, and
would you say I'm an alpha male?
I think that's a conversation.
No.
I feel like yes, actually. But that's a conversation for another day. The point here is
But
everything
okay.
that I am doing
Go.
now, everything that I'm doing now, for someone to consider it evil in the future simply because it went against their intelligence or their
Not really they're intelligent, because someone that's intelligent will not think of like the ones that came before us were evil.
but if
It's
you think
because of
about
their
it,
religion. Yeah, it
right,
doesn't have to
it does,
do
you're
with
right. But
intelligence.
if you think about it, as of right now, I do think I'm very much smarter than my mom. She does have more life experience, but I feel like there are just things that is going on in the world that I'm able to catch on faster than my parents or my grandparents would. So we do feel like our parents are a little bit slow.
It's a feeling, but it's not the
Right,
truth.
but it's not the truth because they
Because
have more
right now
life
you feel like you're
experience.
smart, but in
Right.
about 20 years, your kid will still feel like you're dumb. Like,
Exactly.
mom always talks. Like, you
Yeah,
feel
mom
like
just
you're smart.
talks.
But so
But they know best.
I don't necessarily think that you are smarter than them. I just feel like it's different generation,
Right.
and it's different way of seeing things.
Right. And I'm catching on to things faster than
Doesn't
they.
make them
It does
less
not make
smarter
them
than
less
you.
smarter. They
Yeah.
just know things according to what they had available to them.
Exactly.
And clearly,
exactly.
we have more technology. We have more ways to go find out information. So
Yeah.
we are just a little bit slightly advanced.
Yeah, just because you can Google search
Right.
does
We
not
can Google
mean.
search.
Yeah.
We go to school longer. They were probably not able to do so.
Yeah,
So yeah, I would
that's
not
one
want
of
someone in the future to kind of like look at me, as in like my kids, to kind of look at me as like evil because of what I did to survive and what I came about. They don't know what I went through to make the decisions that I had to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then my next questions are, what gods did they pray to before Jesus?
What God that they prayed to before?
Yeah.
I would say it's not one God.
Mm-hmm.
There are practices that this stuff that we watch today, the avatar.
Mm-hmm.
The avatar, there is 4 elements. And this is I'm talking about Congo the most,
Yeah.
because that's where I'm from.
Right.
In Congo, they used to pray to the elements, the 4 elements, which are like what? Water, fire,
air, and earth.
exactly. They used to believe in the nature. Basically, forget all that. Let's just say the nature. Because they used to believe, they still, because if you go down deep in the villages, you still find people that still practices those stuff. They used to believe that there are people that still live underwater. There are spirits that live in the bush. They still believe all that. So they had that, and it was working for them. Because they believe that there are gods that live maybe in the water. That's why in Congo, the fishermen, before they go into the water, they have to ask for permission to actually fish. If you try to just go without asking for permission, something bad might happen to you. Those were the type of beliefs that they had. That does not mean that it's evil. It just means that that's their way.
Right.
When does something become evil? Evil is basically just the absence of a god. They are their gods. It wasn't
Right.
It was there were no evil back then. I believe they were evil, but I don't think what they were doing, their practices, were
Wasn't
not evil.
necessarily witchcraft and
It
whatever.
wasn't witchcraft.
Right.
I do not believe that 100%. You know why? Because when in the Congo Kingdom, basically, for those who do not know about the Congo Kingdom, go search Congo Kingdom on YouTube or wherever. You're gonna find out and learn more about the Congo Kingdom. In the Congo Kingdom, they use their practices and stuff. When the colonizer first came, they came and presented Christianity. They did not present it as the ultimate religion.
Right.
They did not present it to them like this is the religion that's gonna serve the world.
Right.
No, they presented that as a cult.
Really?
That's what they did. They presented that as a cult. Now, the king was ruling a really the king Zingankuvu. No, that's I forgot the name. My God. But just look it up real quick. The king back then, he was ruling over Angola, Congo, the Congo Brazzaville, Cameroon.
Wouldn't it be Zingankuvu?
I think that's the name. And what is there? Gabon.
I actually think so.
Yes,
don't
he
know.
was ruling about 5 countries. Back then, it wasn't you die, you kid, take over. No, it wasn't that.
As you earn it.
You earn it. And then what do you do to still be in power? You have to be into really high practices. Those were how you will maintain his status as a king.
Right.
Because anybody that's more powerful spiritually, that's more powerful than you, will just come in and take that spot from you.
Right.
That's how it used to work. It wasn't like, oh, my son will take over after me. It wasn't that.
Legacy, family
No,
legacy.
it wasn't that. Whoever that's the strongest is gonna take that the kingdom from you.
Right.
But then, when the colonizers came, they presented that as the highest power in a occult way.
That makes sense. I get it now.
Exactly. They presented that not as a religion that we have to know. He, since he was into this thing where he's like, I'm already using this. If I mix it with this one, I will be the most powerful one. People will fear me, because for you to be a king, you have to be feared, not respected. You have to be feared. In the mention of your name, people will have to shake. That's how it was back then. And then when they converted, they did not convert. They started mixing Christianity with their practices, and they were using it all together. Yes, they were using it all together. Up to now, priests in Congo still use it the way they first used it when they came in Congo.
Talk about it.
Priests in Congo, they will actually do prayers for you, and then you will not get to see tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, they still use it like that up to date.
What?
The true form of Christianity is still being used. It was being used as a cult. It wasn't. Not everybody had access to Christianity back then. This is like the 12th century, from the 9th to the 12th century.
Okay.
Not everybody, even the king, was using it as, this is my cult and I will do the rituals by myself. My wife will not be involved into this. My kids will not be involved into this, because if they have access to this, they might have the same type of power that I
hold.
Exactly. So that's why it turned out that way.
Okay.
And gradually over the years, Christianity has become the true religion that we now use.
Right. Well, that is very interesting, because I came across this videos from this guy called Amampongo. And I believe that's his name.
Joshua, yes.
Joshua Amampongo.
Yeah, Joshua.
Amazing. Love him. and Dr. Omar.
I
They
love that guy
I
too.
do too. And these two guys are very smart, especially for the Black community, because we need people like this, you know.
Mhm.
And they have talked about how Christianity has, like, the Bible has 80% of the Bible
Mhm.
is basically trying to turn an African man into a European man. As in, back then or now, if you dress up as that African guy, you just come like, like the first, like the first people used to dress up in like
Mhm. Mhm.
little whatevers to like cover their private areas,
With
shirtless
the
kind
bone in
of,
the
a little
nose.
bone on the nose, like, some cuts, some marks on their bodies, basically to honor their cultures. And that would be seen as inappropriate. That is still seen as inappropriate
Mhm.
in 2025.
Mhm.
So it is not something that's accepted because they want us to come to, if you're going to be a preacher, you have to wear a suit.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
all know suits were not a thing for us in Africa.
Mhm.
Now it is a thing because obviously the modern world, the modern fashion, but before that was not a thing for us. We dressed in drapes and kitenges
No, but
and
I understand it's
um
different time.
different times. So
So
yeah.
it's different uh wardrobe, I would
Oh
say.
yeah, different wardrobe, but basically mostly influenced by a white person. And so basically these two guys, were kind of talking about that because the Bible actually does not support you just being authentically Black.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, it actually does not support that.
This is what I do not really like about saying that our ancestors were evil,
Mm-hmm.
because this is what they're trying to do to you. They want to cut down your roots, and a tree without a root,
Exactly.
how are you gonna stand?
How are you
There's absolutely
going?
no way that you're gonna stand.
Yeah.
So they're trying to cut down your roots so that you can't stand, and they tell you use this Bible to stand on it,
And stand on it. Let it be
and that's
your.
why you will never find yourself if you're standing
Yeah,
on
if
it.
you're standing on the Bible, like this is my formation, my foundation, my
You will
everything,
never
my
find
pillars.
yourself,
Absolutely not. You will
because
never.
I do feel like the Bible limits uh your brain from thinking.
Big time.
The Bible does limit your brain from thinking,
Big
because
time.
it tells
Big
you,
time.
this is what it tells you: don't worry about it.
God got you.
He got you.
He gonna get
Don't
it.
even think
Just
about
use
it.
the word to eliminate the devil. That's literally what the Bible
Don't
sounds like.
even think
I'm not
about
against
it.
it. I'm not against the Bible. I'm not a big reader of the Bible. I'm not gonna like sit here and make it up. But I just know that the Bible basically just advertises people to just be
It
slightly
advises you to be
lazier.
lazy.
Just a little bit
Like,
lazier.
don't
Just
think
like lay
about
back.
it.
Nah, bro, go get it. God would not create us with this brain if he did not want us to think or use it. Yes, it's there for a reason. And the Bible does have good things. It does have good information that I feel we can look up to, but I don't necessarily think everything needs to be really taken that seriously. And then there's also this thing that we continuously do in the church right now is when we go to church, they tell us things like we're going to rebuke every chains that's holding you from families, every root, break it down. If you see how many people stand up to break every chain,
break every chain.
to break every
Break
chain,
every chain.
and not knowing that, wait a minute, because of that chain,
There is
You
power.
you got to where you are because of that chain. if your mom didn't go through all those
No,
things,
no.
if your grandma
But
didn't go through all those
listen
things,
to this. I don't feel like there's a chain. There's no chain.
there is no chain.
There is no chain to be broken. Your DNA, it is like a memory card.
That's true.
It saves
stores
every single thing.
Everything. Every cry, every laugh,
everything.
everything.
I was telling you the other day about the avatar. We did not. They beat the in the anime. There was hundreds of avatars. We do not know their names.
Yeah.
But we know as soon as, let's say, Avatar Korra would want to tap into the avatar side.
Right.
All of the avatars will come running.
And become as one
They
to
all
strengthen
become
her.
as one to strengthen you. They wouldn't be you today if they didn't exist.
You need that community.
For you to be born, do you know how many great parents that you need for you to be alive right now?
Just
so you cutting them down?
Can you imagine what you're cutting down? I have a story. I have a story to tell. And I actually felt like I was doomed after this when I found out more about, ancestry stuff. When I was born, my parents gave me a name. And then my aunt, which was my dad's big brother, came through with so much joy because they already told her this is gonna be named after you.
Yeah.
So she came running at the hospital like, no, this is my baby. I'm going to name her my whole full name because firstborn. She was the firstborn. So they gave me the entire name. The entire name. So on my birth certificate, my dad's last name.
Let them know what was your name.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But
the London Tumbo.
Apologize to me.
I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they gave me the entire last name on my birth certificate. My dad's last name was not even there. So then I grew up and she was always the angry one, the mean one, she would yell at everybody. Everybody was scared of her. Everybody in my family. And I know my family that's watching right now, they know exactly what I'm talking about. We were also scared of her. And when I grew up and I got the opportunity to change my name, before I took on my husband's last name, of course. So I changed my name to the name that my regular first name. And then I took upon my dad's last name. And yeah, that was cool. I didn't feel like anything changed in my body. I just felt better because I was like, I don't want to be connected to this, like always bitter person that everybody knows in the family, right?
Sense, yeah.
So I go ahead and change it. And then now I'm obviously married a couple years later. I took upon my husband's last name, and now I'm reading, watching videos on how powerful names can be, the channeling, and if it was not for them, I wouldn't be who I am. And looking at my personality now, and that aunt, she had 12 younger siblings, the first of 12 younger siblings, and she is a female. So you can understand how many kids, how many siblings she had to raise, why she was always angry and bitter, because of the responsibility. She had to set the tone for the entire family.
Yeah.
And guess who that is today?
Are you setting the tone?
I feel like I try to be conscious of it whenever I'm trying to be harsh, control everything. I'm very controlling of everything. I'm very dominant. I'm very like.
So you're telling people you dominate me?
I don't dominate you, baby.
Say
just
my
like
lord.
My lord. Oh yeah, no. So I can, I do like to dominate a lot, and not in a bad way, but just like I like to be in charge and in control because then I know things will get done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna just sit here with all my siblings because they're all looking up to me like, big sis, what's going on? Dad and mom did this, they said this, but what should we really do? Everybody really comes to me. And so now I'm like, oh my, I understand this lady. It was not evil to begin with. It was just she had to be that way. And now I'm that. What have I done? Why did I even change the name? It makes no sense. It was like so unworth it. The most unworth it piece of paper I've ever had. So honestly, now I'm so grateful for her because now from that I really did learn a lot, and now I'm like, it is what it is. I'm proud to be the firstborn. I'm proud to be in control. I'm proud to do all these things for my siblings and be there for my parents and be this alpha female that I am today. And I feel like everybody around me is really like loving that. They just love it. I just try to tone it down a bit and call myself out when I'm out of line.
Yeah, that's a way out to do it. You need to know when you're stepping over the line,
Yeah.
and a way to pull yourself back.
Yeah.
Because
Really.
I always tell you, it's when I start to feel jealous for other people, I always like check myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah,
And
nah,
guys,
you
it's
can't be feeling like
normal.
that. It's
Right.
their turn.
It's
And
really important to call
it's
yourself out.
yeah, call
It's
yourself out.
really important because when you call yourself out, the things that change for you. When you call yourself out, I'm telling you, it's like that feeling just kind of like
It goes away.
goes away
It does
right
goes
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm literally like that. Each time I feel like, let's say
It's
I'm in a
basically
room.
the fight between your consciousness and your subconscious.
Right.
It's
And when I'm in the
that
room
fight.
and I walk in a room full of beautiful women, maybe if I meet like a woman that's prettier than me, like got everything more, like more elegant or whatever.
We
the
don't know.
very the very first thing I try to do is acknowledge that right away. She is damn near gorgeous. Or she is drop dead gorgeous. Once I admit that, I can walk up to that person and tell them how gorgeous they are. And now I'm like, that was really good. Now I'm actually praising myself for being a woman to admit that, for being woman enough to admit that, because women these days, they go to the ugly ones to give them compliment. Right, because they feel like they're prettier than you, they all that. And it's just like, it's not necessary. Admit it, call yourself out, and you'll do just fine. But anyways, I feel like we did talk about that a lot. Like, the name, the power that...
I wanted to add something.
Go ahead.
We need to take the last name seriously.
Yes.
If your last name is Mampungo, keep it.
Keep it.
You don't know.
Bilonda.
You are definitely. You are connected to the first Mampungo. The first Mampungo was maybe a great man or a great woman that you were named after.
Yeah.
Keep it, because this world is based on last names.
Literally.
You see, white people, they made the society to be based on your last name. Many people, if you say Trump, they know Trump.
They know exactly who you're talking about.
You might say Donald, they're like, who's Donald?
Who's Donald? Yeah, there's so many.
There's a lot of Donalds.
Exactly.
But the last name, it's where your power resides. Because you already say a story. I wanted to say a story, but it's okay. We're gonna say the story maybe next time.
Another time. Okay.
Yeah. But last names are really something that we need to keep and cherish, because down the line of your last name, each time they pronounce that name, it's kind of like
Holds
you charging.
Yeah.
You charging your ancestors to come
Forth.
for you.
Yeah, come forth
whenever
for
you need them.
to be the strength that you need
Exactly.
at the
Because
time
it's
that you
not,
need it.
it's when you stand, it's not only you standing, it's many more people behind you that came before you that's standing along with you.
Exactly.
So I would advise keep your last name.
And let's not
I love it when they
associate-
call me Tando. I love it when they do that.
Yeah, now I do love it. And let's not always associate, especially for Africans, we don't have to associate everything with poverty. If my family is poor, so I don't want to pass down this name. Because no, be the first to change that name.
Because
Be the first to give it respect and honor.
We were talking about DNA. Your DNA does have does store
Memory,
information.
yeah.
It does have memory. Now, if you are living a lifestyle that's different from what your ancestors did, it would like kind of like you
rewriting history
Exactly.
for your entire last name, your entire generation.
Exactly.
So that the people after that will only do better.
Exactly.
Right. Be the first. Like you feel like it's always been poverty. It's always been no
keep
knowledge.
the name. Just do stuff differently.
Do better. Yeah.
Just do stuff
things
differently.
Yeah, differently. Do more research on your family.
Because
watch the patterns.
According to science, whenever you live, you eat right, you exercise, you do all that, it's all goes stored in your DNA. You have kids that they are born and they love being active,
right,
and all that.
Right.
That's you rewriting
history.
Your history. So
Yeah.
basically that.
Oh,
and
I
feel
love
like there's no prayer that's gonna do that for you. There is absolutely no prayer.
Just change your
because
mindset.
Change your mindset. It's because it all happens here. Even the
All in
Bible.
the head. Even the
it
Bible.
all happens here. It's all in the head.
Even the Bible.
Yeah.
Even when we pray, like especially Christians, we pray, God of Moses, God of Elijah, come down and do this miracle for me. What's Moses' last name?
Just entities that don't have last names.
What is
Wonderful.
Elijah's last? Matter of fact, what is Moses' last name? What is Elijah's last name? You don't know. We don't know. I don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
We are literally calling upon people we don't know. They have a history because they are trying to teach us something from their story. But I don't necessarily think these beings were real. So when you're calling upon their names, you better watch it. You better be calling onto your grandma Mutombo. Manya or Manya, instead of calling upon Moses, because Moses, you don't even know his last name, child.
Yeah.
So let's not go there. But no, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like that was good. That was enough.
Yes, but in conclusion
Yeah.
is do not cut down your ancestors.
Don't.
They are the roots that you stand on.
Yeah.
Do not cut them off. And this journey, it's just for helping us, you, me, her, everybody that's
Yeah.
watching.
All of
The
us.
journey is to help us find ourselves. For so long, and I'm saying this with all the sincerity that's coming from our heart, for so long we've been lost. I know many people that's gonna watch this and say that we are lost.
Yeah.
Because anybody that
I know.
tries to think differently than the religion, they are the devil. They always say the devil got you.
Influenced by the devil.
Influenced
They
by
are
the
doing
devil.
witchcraft now.
They say you've got the free will,
They've
but as
gone
soon as
rogue.
you start to think for yourself, you think something different,
All of the sudden, it's evil.
it's evil. So, and
Let's change the mindset. Let's change the tone to that. Let's do
and
better.
we're gonna sign off by saying subscribe to our YouTube channel
Subscribe and show love.
and show love.
Show love. You guys don't have to be haters. We can do better. I know none of the watchers are haters. The love and support I get all the time is amazing. So I'm really grateful that you joined us today on this episode, and we're going to see you next time. Thank you.
Sign out.
Good night.